In this classic clip, Candace Owens debated Dr. Luke Wood on the topic of reverse racism and affirmative action on an episode of Dr. Phil, where the host moderated. Hello and welcome back to Resist the Mainstream. I'm Steve Inman, reporting the news that the mainstream won't. Don't forget to subscribe and, of course, like and hit that notification bell for more classic videos that we're about to watch. On a special episode of Dr. Phil, conservative personality Candace Owens engaged in a heated but intellectual debate about affirmative action policies affecting college applications between African American and white students. Owens stood firmly against these kinds of policies and claimed that college approval based on race was actually reverse discrimination, which it is. And in this clip, Owens takes the stand first and puts her points on the table, but Dr. Wood is quick to respond as the debate began to ramp up.
Are we compromising standards?
Yes.
If we do that, because we haven't fixed the problem down the line?
That's correct. It is the policies are harmful also to the people that they purport to help. And we have all of the evidence there to look at. When you artificially place a Black American into a school in which they do not belong based on their knowledge, doesn't mean that they go on to get A's. In fact, there was a Black adjunct professor, you guys have definitely heard of him, Dr. Thomas Sowell, who was teaching at Cornell University, and he found that the majority of the Black American students that were there were on academic probation. Now, these students were some of the smartest in the nation, but because they were artificially placed amongst their peers at Cornell University, they were failing on academic probation. These policies have never helped Black Americans. It's just basically policies that are put in place to make people feel good, right? I feel like I'm doing something when in fact I'm actually creating harm. You either know the answers or you don't.
When you say, hey, we have Black students at a particular school who aren't performing at that school as well, the immediate assumption that you're making is, well, maybe it's because they're not smart enough, they're not good enough, or they don't belong here. Whereas it could be about the experience that they're having at that institution. Professors who believe that they're not intelligent enough, that they don't have the capability to do the work, that they see them as criminals, deviants, dangerous, up to no good, or they talk about them with the they statements. They're lazy, they don't care, they don't really belong here.
Dr. Wood responded by critiquing Owens' comments, claiming that she was making they statements aimed at disadvantaged African American students. Wood's obviously his argument stemmed from a systemic perspective in which he believes that African American students are discriminated against because of their background or their looks. Owens responded with a personal example about her own high school college experience, where she noted that there's a cultural significance to take into account, as well as personal responsibility relating to education. And of course, Owens went on to mention that she doesn't believe in artificial placement and doesn't believe that it's helpful to the Black community. In fact, it's degrading it, and that she believes it's harmful instead.
No, I'm giving you actual facts based upon extensive
and you can say, well, maybe they just
that's
don't
been
feel
done.
good. But that's not the case. I mean, I went to university. I did not feel good, right? I didn't pull the best grades in high school, probably got into a better university than I should have gotten into based on my performance in high school. It wasn't because of my feelings. It's because I wasn't focused on it. And that we're talking about a cultural problem, what's going on back at home, as was in my circumstance. And none of that is because of institutionalized policy. It almost seems like you guys refuse to accept that, Black students aren't performing well. You feel like you have to have this burden of responsibility when, in fact, if you actually wanted to help, you would look at the facts, re-examine the fact that it's not helping anybody. It's not helping Black Americans to artificially place them into universities, and you'd make effective change.
But you're making the assumption that Black students are academically inferior, and they're not.
No,
They're
you
some of
are
our most
actually.
brilliant students
that's
that we
the
have.
basic. No. That you are making the assumption that they are inferior.
You
It
just
is
said that
why
they
you
don't
want
belong there.
policies. I'm talking about the students that are based on the policies that you are defending right now, saying that we should have these policies that let them into these universities, not based on their skill set, but based on the color of their skin. So you are assuming that they are inferior.
Dr. Woods doubled down on the assumption that Owens was treating African American students as academically inferior, to which she responded with haste, clarifying that she believes students should be judged based on their skill set, not by the color of their skin. Let us know your thoughts about affirmative action policies affecting college applicants in the comments below. Once again, Steve Inman with Resist the Mainstream, reporting the news that the mainstream won't. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and of course, hit the notification bell for more classic content that we just witnessed. Until next time, take care, and we'll see you then.